Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy first full week of classes. We hope that you're ready to roll, and certainly as you came in this morning, you all are looking great in dress code and ready to go. A couple of announcements to follow for this morning. Those of you who are still in search of your lunch cards, please stop by the Campus Life office. If we get out of chapel early, you might be able to stop in and see us or sometime prior to lunch. That would be great. Start this morning just briefly before the announcements and your message from Dr. Howell. But as you may know from listening to the news, the U.S. is withdrawing from Afghanistan. So this morning, as we begin the day, we'd like to take a moment of silence in your individual advisory spaces to be thinking about the families of those who have lost their lives, as well as pray for peace for all of those that are impacted. So I ask that we take this moment of silence, please. Thank you. We also have many friends and family across the nation who may have been impacted by Hurricane Ida. So know that our thoughts are with them all. Know that we are thinking about how they will recover, and we as a school, as always, will start to work with our leadership groups to be thinking about ways in which we can help with those efforts. This morning we have Ashley to give some announcements, so please welcome Ashley.
Good morning. Today is Monday, August 30th, and it is a white day. Attention international students. The registration deadline for the September 11th TOEFL is today at 3 p.m. Any student wanting to take the TOEFL should email Mrs. McCaffrey at mmccaffrey@stjlabs.com to get the link to the registration form. Please email Mrs. McCaffrey with any questions. Attention mountain bikers. Please check your STJ Labs email for an important message from the Mountain Bike Club. Club rides start this week, and you will need a permission form signed by your parent or guardian to get on the bus, unless you are a boarding student. Paper copies are available in the Campus Life office. See Mr. Bentley and Ranger 209 during conference period this week for more information. Anyone interested in learning more about the Vermont Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math Fair is invited to a meeting with Mr. Eckel in Streeter 241 at 3:30 today. We will go over the general categories, how projects are constructed, possible timelines for competing, and how they are judged. We will discuss ways to build a project into busy academic, sports, and club activity schedules. Maybe it's time to let the science out to play in your life. If you are interested and cannot make it to the meeting, let Mr. Eckel know at his SCJ Labs email. Happy birthday today to Joseph Scott, Wendy Yao, Terrence Roberts, and Brooke Davis. Happy birthday. Today we have girls golf at Champlain at 4. Please dismiss the team at 12:30. We have varsity and JV field hockey green and white scrimmage at 4:15. Please stay tuned for a message from Dr. Howell. Have a great day. And a reminder to freshman advisories to stay on after Dr. Howell's message for an update from Mr. Dusso. Thank you.
know it's going to be a good one. I've heard that there's a lot of joy on campus, everybody getting back together, and I'm sorry that
Okay, so we recognize that we're having some technical difficulties with the flip back and forth to see Dr. Howell. So at this time, advisors, we're going to ask that you spend some time with your advisees while we work on that technical difficulty. Freshman advisors, we're going to ask that you stay on because you're going to hear from Mr. Dusso. So a little added extra time with your advisees. Please send them to the Campus Life office if there's any questions to upperclassmen advisors, and we will work to get the technical difficulties worked out. Have a great day. Freshmen, here's Mr. Dusso.
Thank you, Ms. Schwanier. Hello, freshman advisories. Nice to, I guess, see you, I suppose I could say. I do wish, of course, we were in the church this morning, but hey, we can make this work. It's okay. The first thing I want to do, before I have a brief reading for you all, I would ask the Eckhart Advisory and the Kwok Advisory to please send one advisee each to Fuller Hall right now. Now don't worry, you're not going to have a speaking role, just have a little kind of like demonstration. So I'm looking for a couple of volunteers. So once again, one from the Eckhart Advisory and one from the Kwok Advisory. I'm going to open today with a reading. Please listen up. Today we begin, so I want to talk a little bit about beginnings. Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher who lived in 500 BC, said this of beginnings. A tower of 9 stories starts from a dirt heap. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Here you are, at the beginning of your first full week of classes as 9th graders. This is a place in your life of the proverbial crossroads, if you will. It's not the simple kind of crossroads from that, song by Robert Johnson, but it's a giant intersection with lots of on-ramps, expressways, and arteries, and boulevards. There are circles and side streets, winding dirt roads, mountain passes, alleyways, and even a parking lot. There are potholes. There's even a runaway truck ramp. To extend this metaphor a little bit more, you are all licensed to take the road you please at the speed you wish to progress. If you know what you want, you can take the fast track. Definitely encourage that. If you, as a student here, want to explore a bit more, if you want to take the scenic route, that's great. But do be aware of your direction as you're going. You don't want to get lost. And of course, beware of the cul-de-sacs. They often have appealing signs and names, but in the end, they're just dead ends. 9th graders, you're probably figuring out that you have a lot of opportunities here. Explore them. Make the most of your journey while you're here. This is your life, this year for the next 4 years. So enjoy it and do some exploration, because there's lots of opportunities. And take it at whatever speed is comfortable for you. That's fine. but don't linger in the parking lot. All right. With that, a couple of notes, a few things here. First things first, lunch cards, of course, should be in your possession by this point. Nonetheless, I'm sure that you would be able to get lunch today, even if you don't have a lunch card. But again, please do connect with your advisor to make sure you have that stuff taken care of. Enrollment agreements, advisors, once again, please remind your advisees to get those in. And advisors, of course, you can turn those in to the admissions office or to the mailbox of somebody who works in the admissions office. We're starting this week, of course, in dress code. It was nice to have a little break from dress code last week with the heat and all. I broke out my new favorite tie. It's one that I got from Sam Began. It's got wolf heads on it. I'm really excited about this. But I had a chance to peruse the 2020-2021 student handbook. We still have yet to publish this year's student handbook, but I don't know how much will change. But in regards to the dress code, just some reminders. I'm sure everybody in the ninth grade class is in perfect dress code this morning. But again, the female dress code is collared shirts, no tank tops, no t-shirts. It should be collared shirts, and then either pants or dresses or skirts that are knee length. For the male dress code, pants, belts, collared shirts, and of course, neckties. And a really fun advisory activity can always be, learning how to tie neckties. I know that there are some ninth graders out there who never untie their necktie. They just loosen it up, hang it on the wall, and put it on the next morning. Also, of course, in regards to the male dress code, haircuts. The dress code for male haircuts is above the collar, above the eyes, and above the ears. If you haven't gotten that haircut yet, if you need one, hopefully you have made an appointment already, and if you haven't done so, it is time to do so. Thank you. All right, so this week, here we are. Of course, you're in your advisory with this live stream chapel. Tomorrow, there's an advisory meeting. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, there'll be a couple more live stream chapels. Those will be, I'm not sure who will be speaking. I'm sure Ms. Schwanier will have a role in that, and perhaps we'll hear Headmaster Howell's message as well, I would assume, since we didn't get a chance to today. On Friday of this week, however, we have the opportunity to meet together in the amphitheater as a class. So I'm really excited for that. And we're going to be doing a little something special, kind of an activity. I mean, we are missing being in the church together and being able to do the usual things, but we're going to do our best to replicate the kind of thing that we might do in the church on a Friday. And so with that, I'm going to ask our two volunteers to come up on stage. What's your name?
My name's Sage. I'm Nate.
This is Sage and Nate. And Nate, if you could get your mask up for me, thanks, bud. All right, if you guys would just step up, actually, if one of you would come over here. Don't get too far away. I'm not sure if the camera can catch you all. Are we good? Got everybody in? Okay. Hold on just a second here. Sage. Whoa, I know. Nate. So you all might remember, of course, last week we had freshman orientation, ninth grade orientation, and there was a crown that was given to the Bourgeois and Kwok advisories. I believe that crown is still in Mr. Bourgeois' possession. Mr. Bourgeois, it's probably time to pass that crown on to Mr. Kwok and his advisory so they can enjoy it for a few days. But on Friday, this coming Friday, that crown is up for grabs, okay? So I handed each of these guys 2 balloons. And what I'm going to ask them to do right now is to they're going to put one hand behind their back, whichever hand they choose, and then they're going to try to keep both balloons in the air for as long as possible, okay? And whomever keeps their 2 balloons in the air for as long as possible would, of course, be the winner. So with that, do you have any questions?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, what? You're gonna basically get both balloons in the air, and you're gonna try to keep them. Yeah, I know. So here, let me demonstrate.
Okay, demonstration. Oh, okay.
He's like that.
I got it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
All right. You may begin. It appears that Nate won that round. Let's give it up in our advisories for both Sage and Nate. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, yes, just leave them here. So, advisors, by the end of the day today, I will have put a few balloons into your mailbox. They will not be pre-inflated, okay? You're going to need to inflate them on your own. Please do so in a safe way, perhaps outdoors. Put some air into them. I'll try to get maybe 6 balloons into each of your boxes. Among the other things that you might have planned for advisory tomorrow, I want you to figure out who in your advisory is perhaps the best at keeping 2 balloons in the air with one hand behind their back. And that advisee will become your representative on Friday when we compete on this as a class. So it should be pretty fun. So again, advisors, look for some balloons in your mailbox for tomorrow's advisory. All right, 9th graders, here we are. Have a great Monday and have a great first full week as students here at the Academy. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
the American flag. That was something that was every morning. Those of you who are new won't know that, but I think